Sources tell me that the New York Jets are trading for Jaguars running back James Robinson. Now lands in New York, taking the place of Breece Hall, their breakout star rookie who tore his ACL and is now out for the season. James Robinson now lands with the New York Jets.
I owe you guys all a huge apology. This video was late. I tried to fit in a quick little gym session before Monday Night Football, and well, unfortunately, the news came out about this trade. By the time I came back home, Monday Night Football started. I don't like dropping videos during football games, and that's why you're getting this video a little bit late. So my apologies, but you guys have a double upload day today. We have something for New England Patriots fans and Indianapolis Colts fans a little bit later on in regards to what we saw on Monday Night Football. But for now, a huge trade was made in the NFL and something that I just couldn't wait to talk about. So before we get to the content, you guys know how we do it. We're giving away $100 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. We announce a giveaway winner each and every week. And now that we get all of that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I gotta give you guys a disclaimer. I own Travis Etienne in one of my fantasy football leagues, and I can't even begin to explain how excited I am to bring you guys this analysis. Jokes aside, from the very beginning, I was never a fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars drafting Travis Etienne. Nothing against Travis Etienne at all whatsoever, but just based upon the body of work that James Robinson has put forth in his NFL career so far, it's been very impressive. I mean, at the time that the Jacksonville Jaguars drafted Travis Etienne, to give you an idea, James Robinson was coming off of a season where he rushed for 4.5 yards per carry, had 7 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards rushing in only 14 games starting. The year after, he saw a little bit of a regression, but that was also because he had Urban Meyer as his head coach. Regardless, he still maintained the same yards per carry averages, 4.7 yards per carry, and once again had 8 rushing touchdowns. This was during the season that Travis Etienne wasn't available. Well, this past year, things were a little bit different. You see, Travis Etienne finally came back from his Lisfranc injury, and obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to favor the individual that played college ball with Trevor Lawrence that also had a first-round pick spent on him. That wasn't the main reason why the Jaguars favored Etienne, but obviously he has big play potential. He has potential as a pass-catching running back. But I'll say it over and over again, man, from the very beginning, I thought the Jaguars hit on James Robinson. It didn't really make a lot of sense to spend a first-round pick on a running back when there was other pressing needs during the Trevor Lawrence draft. Well, fortunately for the Jaguars, they hit on Travis Etienne. I mean, so far, don't get me wrong, there's been plays that have driven me absolutely insane as one of his fantasy football owners. There's been moments where he could have scored touchdowns, but he's fumbled it in probably the worst situations possible. But you gotta admit, so far in his young career, some of his statistics will blow your freaking mind. 4.5 yards per carry is remarkable for a running back. I mean, any running back that has that average deserves to be starting for any team, in my opinion. You have no need to replace a running back if he's averaging those types of averages. But in Travis Etienne's case, so far in 68 rushes, he's averaged 6.1 yards per carry. And in his last game against the New York Giants, despite him losing this game, I have to admit, it looks like he showed us some of his potential. And with the game upcoming versus the Denver Broncos, I think big things are in store for Travis Etienne. So much so that the Jacksonville Jaguars felt good enough to trade James Robinson. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a huge trade that I absolutely love for the New York Jets. The Jets are making a big trade acquiring halfback James Robinson to help replace injured halfback Breece Hall. Draft pick compensations going back to the Jags. So if you didn't know, unfortunately, another rookie, because I consider Travis Etienne to be a rookie, he didn't play at all last year whatsoever, but another rookie that has finally come into his own, that really showed off his potential over the past couple of weeks, is Breece Hall. I mean, in week 4, he started to show some flashes versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then in week 5 versus the Miami Dolphins, he had an 18 rush, 97 yard performance. And then he absolutely dominated versus Green Bay and was dominating versus the Denver Broncos before, well, he tore his ACL. It's a horrible injury to fall upon upon any individual, and obviously it will end his season. This is a remarkable trade for the Jets to make, because James Robinson's definitely one of the studs in the NFL, and what they gave up just to acquire him is mind-boggling. So the compensation, according to Adam Schefter, is the Jets are trading a 6th round pick that could become a 5th round pick to Jacksonville for running back James Robinson. In order for this 6th round pick to become a 5th round pick, James Robinson needs to rush for 600 yards this season. So far, J-Rob has rushed for 340 yards this season. He needs 260 more yards for the 6th round pick to be a 5th round pick. Personally, I just give the Jacksonville Jaguars props for at least getting something for James Robinson, because just having him sitting on your bench when you know that you want to go to Travis Etienne as your full-time running back didn't really make a lot of sense whatsoever. I will be honest, I still kind of feel like the Travis Etienne 1st round selection may have been a little unnecessary, but if he turns out to be a bona fide superstar, then obviously it's worth it. But that aside, James Robinson is a remarkable player. I mean, probably the best halfback that you could get to fill the void that Breece Hall is going to leave wide open for the New York Jets. Now, if there's one person I kind of feel bad for in this situation, it's Michael Carter, because I thought Michael Carter was just going to get the opportunity to really seize control of that backfield, but maybe they decide to do a running back committee between Michael Carter and James Robinson. But for the New York Jets, man, I have to give them an A+ for this. I mean, they acted quick. They went out, they got another young running back that doesn't have a lot of mileage on him, that has been very reliable in his young career so far, that with all due respect, I think deserves a little bit more respect in the NFL and some more opportunities than what he got from the Jacksonville Jaguars. But on top of everything, guys, if you're a New York Jets fan, it's very important to have a significant amount of appreciation for your general manager, Joe Douglas. Now, I'm not necessarily here to say that Joe Douglas has nailed each and every one of his decisions so far, but there's a sense of urgency and aggressiveness in all of his moves. In the past 2 NFL drafts alone, if you take a look at the way that he navigated the draft, I mean, from the selection of Zach Wilson at the number 2 overall pick last year and Elijah Vera Tucker that he traded up for, then coming back in this year and selecting Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and then getting Jermaine Johnson II, all in the 1st round. So far, Sauce Gardner looks like a bona fide superstar that is so good that he completely changed the identity of the New York Jets team and their defense. Garrett Wilson has shown some flashes as well. Breece Hall was looking like a stud in the 2nd round, and now that he's out for the rest of the season, he went out and got quite possibly the best man that he could have potentially got to fill the void that Breece Hall left. And he didn't have to give up that much to get him. So definitely a huge amount of props for Joe Douglas, and definitely appreciate that man while he is your general manager, New York Jets fans. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, they now get to see what Travis Etienne does full-time as a halfback. I mean, for the Jaguars, it's kind of difficult to grade them because the whole situation with them was a little interesting from the very beginning. I felt like they had their halfback needs met, but obviously Travis Etienne seems to be a bit of an upgrade over James Robinson, and at least they're getting something for James Robinson as opposed to nothing, so I give him a B. But I think the biggest winner in this entire trade out of everyone has to be Travis Etienne fantasy owners. I mean, trust me, as a guy that drafted this guy in fantasy football, I thought my season was over, but it seems like I have significant amounts of hope, as now I have DeAndre Hopkins, I have Travis Etienne, I have Patrick Mahomes, I have CD Lamb. I was able to get Kenneth Walker III because I lost my first 5 games. So if you're part of Travis Etienne fantasy football ownership group, let me know in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.